welcome to 1 Minute Wins with Dr. Dana Martin, the podcast where intentional growth meets practical leadership. One quote, one lesson, one action to help you lead yourself and others better. Let's jump in. Welcome back to 1 Minute Wins. I am Dr. Dana Martin, and this is the place where small intentional actions lead to big results. Today I want to focus on a truth that seems simple but holds incredible power. Every effort counts. Episode 29, Every Effort Counts, directly correlates with the book 1 Minute Wins, available on Amazon, with 1 Minute Win number 29, Every Effort Counts. Gail Devers, Olympic champion who overcame immense obstacles, said every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. And she knew something about trying. She was diagnosed with Graves' disease, told she may never walk again, and yet went on to win Olympic gold. Her life reminds us that success doesn't start with perfection. It starts with effort. Every meaningful change, whether personal, professional, home, or work, begins with a choice to take one small action. Effort is the seed. Progress, that's your harvest. And here's the problem, though. Too many people quit because they underestimate small beginnings. They want instant results, big leaps, fast wins, dramatic change. But truthfully, the difference between those who dream and those who succeed, it isn't about talent. It's about effort. Effort is what turns potential into progress. I once coached a leader who wanted to improve team morale. This is very common in the several industries that I coach. And he planned to launch a full recognition program, but kept delaying because he didn't have the time to do it right. So I asked him, what's one thing you can do this week? After some thought, he decided to write one thank you note per day, just one. And after a month, his team was buzzing. Productivity rose, engagement improved, all the stuff and things, right? And when he finally launched the full program a couple months later, it was built on something very simple: daily effort. Small steps compound. They always do. According to James Clear's research in Atomic Habits, improving just 1% each day results in being 37 times better after 1 year. That is not theory. That is math. The compound effect, it works for fitness. It works for leadership. It works for learning, even relationships. Tiny, consistent efforts repeated over time become unstoppable momentum. The secret to extraordinary success is ordinary effort, repeated and intentional. Thomas Edison once said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. How many people are listening that are afraid of work? Probably not many. You're listening to a podcast about growth, and growth takes work. But how many people do you know in your life that this absolutely fits? Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Effort is not glamorous. It's not flashy. Nobody cares. But it is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And great leaders don't just dream big. They do small things very well, consistently. That's where character and discipline intersect. When I started my 1 Minute Wins journey, I'll be honest, it didn't begin with a grand plan. It started with a simple idea. Can I help one person grow today by sharing one quote that has inspired me on my growth journey? But that one person became two. One person? No, one post became two posts, which became a series, which became a book, which is now this podcast, reaching readers wherever. So, the lesson: big things grow from consistent small actions. You see, I'm not delusional. I know that at the time of this recording, I may have 8 subscribers. But for me, it really isn't about the subscribing, and it isn't about the likes, and it really isn't about the comments, although all of that would be nice. It really is about being inspired and inspiring others. Every effort really does count. So, how do we make every effort count daily? This is another big one. So, we have 4 today, 4 4 different steps. And the first is pick one priority. Just pick one. Focus beats overwhelm every single time. What's the one thing that moves your mission forward? Number 2, set a micro goal. Instead of I'll write a book, try I'll write 100 words. Instead of I'll get fit and healthy, say I will walk for 10 minutes. Track your progress. Number 3, momentum grows when you can see it. Use a journal, a whiteboard, even sticky notes. And number 4, celebrate effort, not just the results. Reward yourself for showing up and being present, because showing up is what builds change. So what are these 4? 1, pick a priority. 2, set a micro goal. 3, track your progress. And 4, celebrate the effort, not just the results. Consistency beats intensity every time. Slow and steady pace always wins the race, the turtle said to the hare. So, what's one small effort you can make right now? If you need to pause, pause. Think about that. What's one small effort you can make right now? Maybe it's sending an encouraging message. Maybe it's cleaning one space in your office or in your home, one corner that's been ignored too long. Maybe it's taking one deep breath before responding. The smallest intentional act can shift your entire day. So, do that one action today without delay. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Effort builds momentum, and momentum creates growth. Leaders model effort before they expect excellence. When your team sees you consistently putting in the work, it sets the tone for everything else. Effort is contagious. When people see that you care, they'll care too. Remember, every big success begins with a simple decision to try. You've been listening to 1 Minute Wins with Dr. Dana Martin. Visit dmilm.com for more leadership tools, or grab your copy of 1 Minute Wins. Take control of your growth journey 1 minute at a time on Amazon. And always remember, be the example.